Level 1, car, none, $0. It's raining. You're standing at a bus stop, and for the third time, your phone in your pocket shows the same message. No available drivers nearby. You refresh the app. Nothing changes. You see a yellow dot on the screen. An empty, driverless car gliding smoothly 2 blocks away from you. A robo-taxi. An empty interior, soft blue lighting inside, not a single passenger. You tap request. A second later, the response, this vehicle is occupied by another request. You look up and see that same empty car pull up across the street. It picks up a girl carrying bags from an expensive boutique. Not because she requested it before you, it's just that her fare is premium while yours is economy, and you still have an outstanding balance from your last ride. The system isn't being rude, it doesn't think about you at all, it's just sorting through requests, and yours is the cheapest one the algorithm sees. Another car, a regular one with a driver, drives past without slowing down. You raise your hand out of old habit, as if waving to an acquaintance. The driver looks right through you, as if you were an empty spot on the asphalt. A bus pulls up. You sit down by the window, soaked to the bone, and watch as those whom the system has decided to notice first drive by. The world isn't ignoring you. It doesn't even consider you an option, neither the person behind the wheel nor the algorithm in the cloud. Level 2, $1,500. 6 months later, you have a car, if you can even call it that. It starts every other time, rattles when idling, and the check engine light has been on since the day you bought it. You pull into the drive-thru for coffee before your shift. The camera by the window scans your license plate and model before you've even had a chance to open your mouth. On the menu screen, which a second ago was filled with photos of juicy burgers and $12 combos, there's suddenly just one single line left, coffee for 99 cents. The pricier items have simply vanished. Not because they've been taken off the menu. The system decided that offering them to you was a waste of screen time and other people's patience. The voice over the speaker becomes drier, more curt. What'll it be? You order the coffee, pay with a card that's over the limit a second later than you should have, and drive off amid an impatient honk from behind. In the shopping center parking lot, you walk past an SUV where a mom is buckling her child into the back seat. You hear a click, all 4 seatbelts at once. She doesn't even look up from her phone. Your hand reached for the button on its own before your brain had time to think about anything. A cheap car doesn't make you invisible. It makes you an item on someone's internal list of risks, both human and digital, and both lists converge on the same conclusion without a single word. In the evening, you pull into a gas station, pay in advance, it's become second nature now, and as you walk toward the register, you notice that the cashier is watching you all the way to the counter. Not rudely, just warily, the way people watch the weather, which could take a turn for the worse at any second. Level 3, $8,000. You've been saving up for a year, and now you have 4 perfectly smooth doors, a reliable engine, and not a single warning light on the dashboard. You pull into the office parking lot, and the barrier lifts without a sound. No manual check required. The camera read your license plate, the database confirmed your valid insurance, the risk is low, so you're cleared to pass. You park in the far row, the one your feet lead you to, bypassing the rows right by the entrance, and walk inside. Nothing happens. That's the new feeling. Nothing. No one watches you go through the glass. No one locks the doors when they see you. The security guard at the front desk nods as if you've worked here forever, from day one. A coworker by the coffee machine nods toward the window. Did you see the new car in the parking lot, the blue one? He speaks with enthusiasm, but not about yours. There's nothing to say about yours, neither good nor bad. In the evening, a letter will arrive from the insurance company. Your rate has been reduced by 12%, automatically, without a phone call, without a single person in the chain. The algorithm deemed your gray Honda a predictable risk and silently recalculated the numbers in its favor. You're no longer a problem, but you haven't become the solution either. You've become the background, the thing that both systems, the human and the digital, let pass by unnoticed in both directions. You park in the same spot the next day and the day after that, and catch yourself thinking that you don't even remember what the person who drove past you yesterday was wearing. It's just as hard to remember you as it is to forget last Wednesday's weather. Level 4, $35,000. 3 years ago, you stood in this very same showroom for 20 minutes, examining the hood and waiting for someone to approach you. The manager behind the counter was busy on the phone. You left without ever being attended to, and no one even noticed. Today, you park by those same glass doors, and before you even have time to turn off the engine, the showroom door opens on its own, as if they'd been waiting for you. A man is already walking toward you, his hand outstretched, and he says your name before you've even had a chance to introduce yourself. Not because he recognized your face. The camera at the entrance scanned your license plate 3 seconds earlier. The dealership network system pulled up your profile from the central database, and your file is already open on his tablet. Name, phone number, approved, credit limit, and call history with the call center. You were recognized 4 seconds before the handshake. And it wasn't the memory of a specific person that recognized you, but a server somewhere in another city. What shall we look at today? Warm, casual, as if you were old acquaintances. Coffee, a comfortable chair, 2 more people approach to introduce themselves and shake your hand. You sign the papers and think of only one thing. You haven't gotten any smarter over these past 3 years. You haven't become kinder or more interesting to talk to. The only things that have changed are what's parked outside right now, and the fact that the system already knows this seconds before a person even has a chance to open their mouth. Level 5, $70,000. A restaurant you didn't even step foot in 2 years ago, you just stood across the street and looked at the lit up windows. Today, you pull up, and the valet doesn't wait for you to get out and spot him. He's already running toward you with a friendly smile. Your car isn't taken to the remote staff parking lot around the corner. It's left right at the entrance, in the most prominent spot where it's visible from the dining room through the panoramic window. Inside, the maitre d' pauses for a second and glances at his tablet, a small pop-up window synchronized directly with the valet service. Customer confirmed, vehicle class, premium. And only then, a broad smile, a table by the window, the very one that couples in love usually request on their anniversary. No one asked you. You didn't reserve it in advance. Water appears on the table before you've even had a chance to ask for it. The floor manager briefly places a hand on the back of your chair. Is everything okay? Are you satisfied with everything? He won't ask that question at all to the family at the next table today. And that's when a dangerous, warm feeling creeps in. As if you personally deserve all of this. As if the restaurant is finally responding specifically to you and not to anything else. But the warmth of this evening didn't come from the maitre d's heart or his years of experience. It came from a pop-up window on the screen exactly 1 minute before you walked through the door. At the next table, a man in a worn jacket has been patiently waiting for a server for 10 minutes now, raising his hand over and over again. No one is ignoring him on purpose. It's just that the camera hasn't once passed by his table in time to let the audience know who's sitting there. Level 6, $150,000. The road is empty at night, and you let yourself do something you'd never have dared to do in that old gray Honda. The speedometer needle creeps past 100. In the rearview mirror, blue and red flashes. Your stomach tightens out of old habit dating back to the days when an encounter with a patrol car meant a long conversation on the shoulder and a ticket that would stretch your budget for a month. The officer walks toward your car, and a profile has already popped up on the tablet screen inside his vehicle. The license plate was scanned in advance by a camera at the entrance to the district, and the system pulled up the make, model, insurance class, and payment history. Platinum risk level, conscientious payer. This line appears seconds before he's even had a chance to knock on the window. His voice is softer than you'd expect from someone who's just seen with his own eyes how you blatantly violated the speed limit. In a hurry somewhere today? Almost friendly, almost understanding. He doesn't even take the driver's license you've held out to him. A light tap with his palm on the roof, and he's already turning back toward his car. No citation, no serious conversation, not a single entry in the traffic violation database. You sit on the shoulder of the road, waiting to feel that stroke of luck right now. It doesn't come. A completely different feeling takes its place. You've just seen with your own eyes how the law is least strict precisely where the algorithm has already decided that you can be trusted more than others. You remember that version of yourself in the beat-up Ford Focus, whom that very same law once kept on the shoulder for 40 minutes just for a routine document check. It's the same road, the same rule. The only thing that turned out to be different was the signal the road read from your bumper. Level 7, $300,000. The traffic light and phones in the cars next to you go up before the green light even comes on. The guy in the next lane forgets to pull away. He just stares, his mouth agape. A teenager at the entrance to the mall bolts from his spot and runs across the traffic. Can I get a video, please? His mom is filming nearby on her phone, while someone else further away is already posting a short clip online right from the scene. You haven't even made it home yet, and the video is already racking up its first few thousand views. The social media algorithm is pushing it higher in the feed, not because a real person is in the shot, but because it's your hood and the distinctive sound of the exhaust as you accelerate that appear in the frame. In the comments, people are debating the time it takes to accelerate to 100 and the color of the brake calipers. Your face isn't in the shot for even a single second. The cameraman kept the lens focused on the radiator grille and the logo the whole time. You park in front of your house and catch your own reflection in the dark glass of a storefront. You're smiling so broadly, as if what you've been waiting for ever since that bus stop in the cold rain has finally happened. Strangers genuinely want to be you right now, but the you they have in mind isn't you at all. It's something under the hood that can accelerate from 0 to speed in less than 3 seconds. You're just the person who happened to be behind the wheel at that moment. An hour later, you scroll through the comments under the video again, looking for even a single mention of yourself, even a single, "Who was that?" There isn't one. There are only debates about the trim level and the color of the leather interior, as if there hadn't been anyone behind the wheel at all. Level 8, $500,000 plus. You're sitting in the car, but not behind the wheel. You're being driven. The hotel greets you with warm golden light. The doorman rushes forward even before the car has come to a complete stop. A guest at the entrance raises his phone, but isn't aiming it at you at all. You appear in the frame for just a fraction of a second, and then he calmly shifts the camera to the left, neatly cropping you out of the future photograph, leaving only the gleaming radiator grille and hood in the frame. "Beautiful car," he says to the doorman in a low voice, looking somewhere right through you as if you were part of the lobby's decor. You go up to your room and the evening proceeds as usual, until a quiet vibration in your pocket. A full-screen notification from your finance app. Lease payment is 2 days overdue. In 24 hours, access to the car will be remotely restricted. You look at this text and realize something you hadn't truly understood at any of the previous 7 levels. The car that has kept both the human world around you and the digital world in motion all evening isn't even entirely yours. Like a tiny GPS module in the engine with a single push of a button somewhere in a bank office 1,000 kilometers from here is capable of erasing all this glamour in a single second. It's not just that you've been invisible all these years. You've never actually had any control over the system that supposedly admired you so sincerely tonight. You step out onto the balcony of your room and look down at the city below. Thousands of headlights, thousands of signals, each of which someone is currently renting from the bank, from a leasing company, from an algorithm that determines its price for today.